Hey everyone. So we are back from our weekend trip to Greener Blast Technologies, also Northeast Motorcycle Co-op. So this video, I had a customer reach out to me, invited me down to his shop in New Hampshire. He had a few questions for me and he just wanted me to check out the system. So thanks, Mike. I enjoyed myself. I had a great time. If you need your motorcycle done, fixed or powder coated, definitely check these guys out. In the description will be their information, their website and everything. So go and show them a little love. Okay. Also, we are doing the 1K giveaway. Of course, you know that's basically right around the corner. So for this giveaway so far, we have high temp masking. There should be some pictures up here, some plugs. Myself, I had some pull plugs that I got off eBay. I'll put the link in the description. Coatings by Coat, Coats LLC on Etsy. They're donating a light for our, or for your, whoever wins, powder gun, which I use it, I love it, it makes a world of difference. Cardinal, they sent 3 pounds of powder, I think it's smooth black. Of course, in the middle of this, I'm not stopping. And Tiger Drylock just sent, I think, 5 pounds of candy red. That should be up here too. So to join this giveaway, there's a link right here to a video. Go and watch that video. In the comment section, make a comment about something in that video. And that enters you in to the giveaway. During the video, there is an Easter egg that tells you how to get a second entry into the 1K giveaway. It's the only time we're doing it, and it's somewhere in that video. So if you see it, go ahead, do what it says, and you'll be entered twice. Before we actually do the giveaway, we will go through the comments. Anybody that has 2 or 3 different posts, we'll wipe them all out, only to have one. And we're gonna make sure that everybody's a subscriber. You have to be a subscriber to our channel to join this giveaway. So please go to the video I had up before, because I only could put it up once for some stupid reason. Subscribe to our channel, go to that video, watch the video, leave a comment, and when we hit 1K, that will be the video we use. So go ahead over there, do that. I think that is about it, and I'm hungry as hell, so I think that's about it. So I hope you guys had a good week, and I hope you enjoy the videos. I apologize, Greener Blast Technologies video is long. I had like 5-6 hours of footage, and of course you guys know I hate editing, so it was hard. So I've been doing that over the past couple days, and this video we cut down to basically an hour also. So if there's anybody around the area that would like to invite us to their shop, not necessarily if you need help, but to show us your shop so we can video it. I know a lot of subscribers like to see other people's shops, how other people do things, and I'd love to go to other shops and bring that experience to my subscribers. So if you're a shop near me and you want help with something or anything, let me know. We'll come down. If you're a shop near me and you would like to show your shop and don't need my help, let me know. I'll come down and we'll do a video. So, okay guys, I hope you enjoy the video. I like how big this is.
Well, this is just half of it.
Damn.
So let me give you the, I'll give
Yeah,
you the
let's
contour.
see.
So,
So this is a workshop here?
this is my clean room, I call it. That's the powder coating operation.
Gotcha. This is the New England
Cool.
Northeast Motorcycle Co-op.
Yeah.
So your guys' main business is
Storage.
Bikes, restoration, what?
Mostly storage and service of bikes.
Okay.
This bike is one that we've been working on to black out for one of our members. And we've been doing a lot of things to this to make it black.
Yeah.
Which is all the ray tracing.
You powering over chrome?
I haven't powdered chrome yet for this bike. I did on another one. But I just all I did was just put it.
My bike's gonna need some comments. Mine's gonna be
Over chrome.
So all I did was, I like testing with the sandblaster. We give us a grip and a shot, and it came out perfect. The first, it was the second piece that ever came out perfect. Everything else was hanging fine.
Yeah, and that's the thing with chrome. Like, if a customer wants chrome, you literally tell them, it will look good, but really, the work is based on how well the chrome is on it. So that chrome peels, that has nothing to do with your work. They're risking, if they don't take that chrome off, they're risking not your quality of work, it's the quality of the work of the chrome underneath.
So, do you recommend taking all the chrome off?
We can't, because natural chrome has to go through a company that de-chromes things. So like I can't, if I get somebody that comes and they want something over chrome, I'll be like, you want it done right, you need to get de-chromed, which costs money. I think the only place closest to us is over in New York, because they have to put it through the acid bath and all that. I say, but I can personally etch it, powder it, but my powder is only as good as the chrome underneath. And a lot of people will be like, it's better than what it is, so do it. And I'm like, okay, in the invoice, I put, powdered over old chrome, let customer know there is no warranty on it, powder is only as good as the chrome. Your powder could peel off the chrome because there's something in the chrome you don't know about. It's a shot in the dark. Yeah, it's a shot in the dark with chrome. Just like when you Silicone over chrome, same idea. You're going to get the same concept.
So one of the problems I'm having is with these accent bolts. How do you recommend dealing with this? Is it better to Cerakote those, or is it better to
Cerakote is going to be thinner.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're looking for a thinner, if there's not something in Cerakote, I think Cerakote is more durable than a powder.
I was curious.
In the long run, Cerakote is more durable. It's also thinner. The powder, you get more colors in powder when it comes down to it. Because if you look in the Cerakote, you're limited on your colors. Where powder, you have infinite number. So really, looking at the concept is you got paint, then you got powder, then you got the Cerakote. And that's the way we go at it. Cerakote is going to be more expensive for the customer to do. It's going to be, limited on colors. The process is more touchier than powder.
It seems like the finishes are limited, to say the least.
You're just really limited on the Cerakote. But it is thinner, and I find it to be a lot more durable than a powder. And that's things I get with customers because we deal with the salt and everything. The bracket on the truck, you guys powder, or a rim, like we did a rim, and it started rusting around a certain spot. Well, you get rock chips, people think when you powder, it's durable. It's this finite thing that nothing's gonna go through. And you have to let them know, our powder is a lot more durable than paint, but it's not bulletproof. If a rock chips it and go down to metal, it's gonna start rusting, it's gonna get underneath our powder, it's gonna flake our powder off. And that's where a lot of people, when they think powder, they think it's just like gonna be miraculously a lot better, and it's just not. And you gotta make that clear to them, otherwise you're gonna have people coming back in a year and a half, oh, there's rust on my rims. Well, if it was paint, it'd be a lot worse.
Rather than powder coating it,
If you don't want to powder coat that, just paint.
okay.
Yeah. Paint will easily go over powder better than powder will go on. You can't put powder on paint because the heat will mess it up. But you can touch it up with paint just like you can. Like all rims, I think it's like 2016, 99% of rims went powder instead of paint now on vehicles. And they have that little touch up paint, you just put paint over powder.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, I just do a little sanding just so you don't get the little divots, and then do a little touch-up paint on it. And
Because like, part of the reason I'm asking is like these lights came from China. I like the lights, the way they look, but the powder coat is just fading on both of them. And at first I was blaming it on the heat, but I put LEDs in there, they don't get that hot.
yeah,
So I don't know what.
it's just fading.
Yeah.
See,
And
powder,
that's only a year and a half, 2 years old.
factory powder is just not done like a custom powder. Like you will naturally put it on 2, 3, 4 mils thick, just natural, the way we do it, customized. When you get it to a factory, it's running through a machine where it's getting a very light coat. We had the stiff hitch, I just did a video on where we powdered over it. I rubbed it with the silver Scotch Brite powder, which is a less aggressive. Just rubbed it around and I started pulling powder off. And you should, I mean, that's crazy.
I think on Chris's bike, one of his bikes, his wife's bike, I should say, she wanted to do some stuff in the Cricket Block, right?
Yeah.
On Cricket Block, do you shoot that differently than?
No, I shot the same way, but there are some wrinkles and some vines that you can't, or veins that you can't put a clear coat over it. So you just have to watch out for that. Look it up and make sure, because if you put a clear coat over it, it does something to it. It doesn't hold up. And I think it's veins. I have it written in my phone. I literally keep it there, so when I do it, I can look it up and be like, okay, what's the rules for this before I even do it.
Do you clear coat everything?
Yes, I do. Yes. I kind of don't leave that up to the customer, but I do charge for a clear coat. It's just part of our process. Because I know if I just put a color coat down, it's not as protected, and I just don't even come back in a year and sort of about it. So clear coats I do, and it's a primer coats that I kind of leave it up to them.
Do you have recommendations for when you always have to use a primer coat, or when you should?
Primer coat, anything steel that's going to go through anything. Because you think, we use a zinc primer, so it goes on, so it's basically, if a rock chips it, it goes through the color. Instead of starting to rust the steel underneath, it's going to start rusting the zinc primer, which is going to tell you, hey, you know, there's an issue, we have to fix it.
Yeah.
Where if you don't have that, it's going to start rusting your rim, and then you're going to, hey, we got to fix this, but then you'll have it eaten away at your rim. So it's just a safety barrier. It's another protection. It's another protective layer because you got 3 coats here, but it's just preparation to tell you, hey, there's rust here. This is a steel rim. We got to get it fixed before it rusts the steel. And again, nothing's bulletproof. It's just another added layer. Aluminum. I like aluminum because you don't have to. I mean, you can put down epoxy. But that's just another layer. If a customer wants to pay that extra money and wants that extra protection, we will absolutely do it, but we don't need to do it.
So you put zinc on steel and epoxy on aluminum.
Yes,
For primer.
the zinc primer is what will rust, which will help your steel.
Right.
And your epoxy is just a coating. You can put epoxy on, you can put epoxy on steel. But the thing is when it goes and hits the epoxy, it's not going to rust the epoxy, so you don't have that barrier telling you. Then it has to get to the steel before it will rust.
That makes sense.
Whatever the person's gonna want, if you're like, you know what, I want the added protection, but when it hits that primer, I don't wanna know. When it starts to hit my steel, I wanna know, I just wanna keep that protection and I'll just touch it up. You can do that, but zinc, that's what really zinc is for, is to start rusting, to let you know, just like when you do anything with metallic, it has to have a clear coat on it. A lot of people do the metallics and, you know, it's a lot more brighter and sparkly, but it will oxidize. All your metal flakes will oxidize, so you have to put the clear coat on it. So it's just a rule of thumb, metallics, clear coat.
So it's obviously a lot more involved than sandblasting or spraying some powder. It's at least a 3-part base, color, clear coat to have.
Yeah, 90% of ours is 2. We do a color and a clear.
Yeah.
The color is the hardest part.
Yeah.
The clear is the easiest part. I think, as long as you have a good machine,
Good. Oh.
it really is. Because the color, it comes right down to, with the color, your design of your rims in the Faraday cage area, or the part you're dealing with. Do I need to hot flock it? Can I do it cold because my machine's good? We did a interview with Maui Powder Works
Yeah,
in
sure.
Hawaii, that one. And he turned me on to hot flocking. I always looked at hot flocking as a taboo. Like, you just don't do hot flocking. It's a bad thing. And he's like, no, I do everything. I hot flock it.
Yeah, I caught that. He
And then
hot flocks everything.
Yeah, he does everything. He goes, I do a quick coat, and since I've done it his way, I have never once pulled the rim out and been, oh shit, in this corner it's light, in this corner it's light, we've got to redo it, or we got to put another coat. Not even once. So now, if you notice, up into that interview, I always did everything cold. Since that interview, like 99% of my shit's hot.
Okay.
Even if it's easy, I'll do it hot. It's just easier for us.
Hasn't it helped with fish eyes too?
Yeah, because when it's dry, if you notice, you get the crackling and stuff, and you can get the fish eye in your powder. And once you get the fish eye, if you don't take care of it, once you've done your rim, the clear coat, you'll see right in your clear coat little marks. I think I did a video with her rim with it, and we kind of fixed it. When we do a hot flocking, you don't have to have your kV and your microamps up, so you're just putting it on hot, so none of that even matters. Then all you're just paying attention to is your kV and your microamps when you do your clear coat. So it's a lot easier. When you're dry, you're trying to get into a Faraday cage, you're messing with your microamps and you're messing with all that, and you can have it too high, and then you're gonna have back ionization, and it's gonna show, and you have to treat it. And hot flocking, I love it, and I'm glad Ross pushed me down that path, because now I do it all the time, and I don't have half the mess ups with having them light at all.
Chris, I'm looking at your forks, your lowers, and this is very common that we see on motorcycles. My nephew has this on his over in Italy. And
That's just aluminum, right? Polished
So
aluminum?
that's my wife's bike. She wants to do pretty much that whole front end to match the rest of it. We did the rest of it previously, but we didn't get into the front end because it all has to come apart. So yeah, that whole thing is going to be getting metal. How much of an effect does the clear coat have on the finish? Like going from gloss black to, because she wants wrinkle, mine's going to be gloss. So I'm sure the clear coat at the end has.
Clear coat at the end, and like I said, I'm for some reason in my head I'm thinking wrinkle, you don't put clear coat on.
Okay.
I think I have that in my head for some reason.
Well, it makes sense. Just the finish.
Yeah, because your whole thing with your veins, the whole thing with that color is the hills and valleys. And I think your veins, and I could be wrong on this, I think the veins, you don't put a base coat, and the wrinkles, you don't put a clear coat. And I can, when we leave here and we're done, I'll copy and paste what I have for my personal notes, and I'll send it to you. And in that way, you'll just have that. The finish on a lot of different things. A wrinkle finish is kind of a high gloss,
Yeah.
but you can tell it's a texture, and it's just not as high as that, and you can tell it's not smooth.
Yeah.
I think the reason you don't put clear over the wrinkle is because it turns it from a wrinkle look to a smooth look, which takes the wrinkle right out of it. So you might as well just use a black.
So it fills in all those notes.
Yes.
which would make sense.
So you might as well just use a black at that point. That's why I think they record. It's not nothing bad it does. I think it just takes the step of the wrinkle away.
Yeah.
That's what this is about.
But the wrinkle, you may be able to do the base coat, the primer coat. I think you can do the primer coat with the wrinkle, and then you got your two coats there.
Yeah.
Same concept, that protection.
So, Chris, on your bike, what are you doing back
So the
on
next,
this?
the fender support brackets back here is the next thing I want to do. But the chrome, most of the stuff, it was all chrome when I bought it, and I blacked it out, but most of it, I just bought them. Like, we didn't have this set up until recently. And now that we have it, I'd like to do it myself. But, that's gonna be the next thing we're gonna be doing, my chrome to gloss black, and then hers, aluminum to wrinkle black, chrome to wrinkle black.
Okay,
There's a lot
let
of
me
options.
ask you, there's a difference. So you got a black for a blackout and you got a chrome black.
Yeah,
The chrome black, they're the transparent colors, and they're made to go over a shiny surface. Or if you get a black,
Yeah.
say a matte black or an ink black, which would be like this color black, you have to rough up your surface a lot. Like etch it with the sandblaster and all that, and then you'll put that on. The good thing about a chrome black or something like that, that's actually made to go over a smooth surface, like over a smooth aluminum, because the shinier it is underneath, going through that, it makes that whole part shinier. So any transparent color is made to go over a smooth surface, where the other ones really aren't made to go over the smooth surface.
That makes sense.
So the black that I've been using has been the,
I'm sure there's solids.
starts with an S, but it's a super shiny black. I'm really happy with it. Really looks like this.
Yep.
When
So
it's
they're
done
solid.
right.
Yeah, so their solids are not transparent.
Right.
Yeah. So they're made to go on as your base color.
Right.
They're not made to go over another color to have that previous color show through.
Okay.
So it's just like candies, illusions. Not so much illusions, because illusions now are two stuff, but a candy color. You want that nice finished, pretty chrome underneath, and you put your candy on top, and the brighter the chrome is underneath, the better it shows through that candy. Well, a chrome black is that same way. So you'll get a black chrome, it just won't be a deep, deep black. It's made for, it's just an accent thing. It's made for a high gloss, a chromy black look.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the problems that I'm having, which we have to go to the other area, with the transparency, I'm finding it to be real.
And you ask?
Yeah.
Specifically the
Stop
gold.
it, Troy.
I did already.
Okay.
So we got that. I'm not set up to do rims yet. I don't want to do rims in an oven like that small. We got this deal here to build a bigger oven, so I should be able to do 2 rims at a time. And I got the room here to build a drive-in oven.
Yeah, you'll be able to do frames
Yeah.
easily. We can do a frame, not a full-size bike like you guys have, but dirt bike frames. We've been doing them and hanging them, and ours is 4x4x6. So
Yeah. So that's on the wish list. Interesting. So I built this booth as a booth to have something for myself, and it works sort of kind of well. But the filter is, I think that was the finest filter I could find at Home Depot. But I think I needed something finer because I'm still seeing some decibel at the back. And but it works.
I could always put one, I don't know, on the back, just whatever your bent out back is, just put another one to double it up.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And ironically, most of the stuff I've been doing, I haven't been able to hang it. I've put it on the racks.
Why?
Well, because the way the oven is, well, actually, I made this. Let me just show you what I made up here. This is make my life easier. I use this guy. It's just, I just threw it together, no big deal. I put this in here. So that gives me, this is the same space as I had in the oven. So I know what, if I am hanging something, this is how much space I have to work with. I haven't modified the oven at all to be able to hang anything off the oven, but this works.
And that's putting that all the way to the top, and
Yeah.
that gives you enough room all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
Question, are you having issues with powder not sticking?
Oh yeah.
How often are you cleaning this?
Oh, I clean it. Like it needs cleaned out.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the grounding, because I put the grounding wire in, and that made a huge difference. Even with this Eastwood.
POS?
Yeah. I'm starting to understand the value of a good gun right away.
But let me tell you, with those, because we started with the same thing, with those, if you can get to a point to where you can powder things and it's a struggle, but you can get them powdered and you can get quality coming out, when you jump up to a new system, you're gonna be a master. Like seriously, like people that are just give up on things like this and then go right to a good system and they seem to struggle and everything because they don't understand all the stuff that you're gonna learn with this struggling. You're gonna learn it, so when you get a system where you can adjust the kV and the microamps, that will make all the difference in the world right there. Are you having an issue with that surging?
No, not really.
No? Mine, we had the dual volt, the generation before this, and it'd be streaming because it'd be a nice light stream and then it would go power. And it's like,
The first time I put it in, I wasn't paying attention. I probably didn't read the instructions, know what you mean. But I had the air up at, I don't know, like 85 pounds, and I had this big massive powder come out of the gun. And I think the part that I was coating was about that big.
Okay.
I think I used a pound of powder on it.
yeah,
But
you
it
have
looked
like,
good.
like what, 10? I think those are like 10 or something,
Yeah.
13.
Yeah. But I got this this digital gauge.
That's what we have on our old system.
And I like this a lot better because I can't. I'm getting old and I can't read the numbers on these other gauges.
Yeah,
They
it's
get-
like one.
and part of the problem I'm having.
This is thick too. That's
Yeah.
pretty thick.
No, this is hyper thin aluminum.
Yep. No, I mean your powder.
Oh, powder, yeah.
Because also the thicker you get, the worse your orange peel is going to be. But like through here, you can see how thick that is. Like this color, I'm assuming is supposed to be more like this. This seems thinner. That seems almost nothing. But this seems like it was put on really heavy. That I think looks more like it should look.
I believe this was the color I was going for.
Yep. Because that would be the normal. And you got a little bit of orange peel, but it looks different. When you start getting a dark, when you get a transparent color, it's always pretty much going to be light. As soon as you go really dark, you can see how it turns like a really dark color.
At least it didn't turn caramel this time.
Yeah. Well, you know what you might want to try is the hot flocking aspect of it. But the whole thing is with hot flocking, you have to have your thing way down. Like if I hot flock a rim, it takes me a lot longer than if it was going cold. The reason is because I have my air pressure really low. I got a small stream because if you have a high stream and you're on something like that, you're gonna just overdo it. If you have it on a low stream, have it freaking hot, and then you do it like you're gonna do a paintbrush going down through, done. Nice even coat.
So this piece, one of the problems with hot flocking this piece, it's very thin aluminum, so it will cool off in about
It's cool off pretty fast.
3 minutes.
Yep.
And the only way I could paint these pieces was to literally set them on the rack
And go on top.
and go on top. 'Cause
Nothing to hang.
Nothing to hang. And I tried using tape to hang them.
There's a
No,
No, I just asked because like I'm not a big painter. And when we do Cerakote, my buddy he does guns and everything, and he does the Cerakoting, and I leave it up to him because he does painting, and like it's that same concept of painting as when you do these with hot flocking, and like get test pieces and stuff. I think you're gonna find that hot flocking on ones that you're having an issue with. If you're able to do them cold with no issues, that's good. If you get to a point where you're just like struggling over and over with the same piece, maybe try the hot flocking and have it like a mist where it's almost not coming out because you will not get it over. If you're going with a mist that's barely seen and it's taking a second to get like a little bit of color, then you're able to get more of an even on the whole thing. Well, I don't cut metal and all that crap. So.
fortunately, I have ironworkers union represented here, so
That's it.
I got
Half-inch
heat-
bung in that, and that'll do just what ours does at home. And what do you have for a compressor here?
I've got a I forget, one of those quiet compressors from California Air. It's
So
only about I think a 20 gallon or so.
Okay,
So it's not big enough for
push
pump
out,
S
yeah.
and that. But again, you gotta start somewhere. You know,
No, we started when we first started our shop. Like, I think it was like a stove. It was like one of those. It was a bucket blaster.
Yeah.
You know, it was, and to get rims clean, where it was like wire wheel brushes, and you're right. You gotta start somewhere. Even if you have the knowledge, and when it's you're starting, you have to
The
start.
financial constraints. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, my original budget for starting was about $1,500, and I'm probably about $2,500 now between the chemicals and upgrading the sandblast cabinet and a couple other miscellaneous
Yep.
parts.
People don't
Yeah.
realize how much there is
Yeah,
to it.
oh, this is only $10 and that's only $10, but all this $10 add up.
Yep.
But I'm happy. Right now. I'm happy with the way things are set up physically for the parts that I can do fit together.
Oh yeah, bike parts and stuff.
Yeah.
But pretty soon you're gonna get into bigger bike parts. You're gonna get into your fenders and things like
Tanks.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to be able to do that. And
So let me ask you, your oven that you're building, how much does all the material cost for that?
Let's go with this.
Because I asked that because I know a lot of people will say, yeah, it's cheaper to build an oven than buy one. Like our 4x4x6, I think we bought it for $3,000, brand spanking new.
Yeah.
And I know that people have spent more than that in all the metal and everything to build their own, basically the same size.
Yeah, the metal that I bought for this was this sheet metal, and I had the company local company sheared for me,
Oh, that's cool.
and
My son's building his. We're actually building one at his shop for him. We actually just put it out on YouTube, did a couple of videos because he's starting a division of our company up at his way because I have a lot of people from him coming down to me.
where does your son live?
He lives up in Newport and I
Uh-huh.
live in Johnson, so it's like I'm getting all this people and like there's just no one up there. So we're starting to build him a shop and we're actually building his oven right now.
So I think, for some reason, I think that was about $500 in sheet metal, and that's 18 gauge that I got.
That's pretty thick.
I got some more pieces over here, but I laid everything out on a drawing, and gave him the drawing. Said, "Here's how I need it cut." And he cut it for me, and then I got the moving studs and rock wool, and I got the PID controllers and all that stuff.
Oh, you're set.
Yeah, and I've got 2 elements here. If I need to put more elements in, I may take them out of that, but I don't really want to get rid of that other.
Two will be better because you're gonna find that when you get moving and you have rims and stuff in an oven or a bigger part, and you're waiting to do this little cover for that big thing to get done, you're gonna realize your oven still has value for little stuff.
Yeah, well, I have the Easy Bake Oven too, but the problem with the
I
small
never
one-
could get those hot enough to.
I could get hot enough, but
Can you?
it got too hot. The thermostat in it wasn't working right. It's driving me nuts. I kept trying, so I learned to adjust it. Even the regular oven, and that's a relatively new model. I had to find a way to check my laser temperature reader to see how accurate that is. I haven't done that yet, and that's something that makes me nervous sometimes. I'm wondering how accurate that is.
I have never checked mine. I'm like, it's close enough for me. As long as this shit ain't burning and stuff. Yeah, close enough.
It's not smoking, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Oh, actually, our smokes. You open it up, and sometimes if we have the door shut because it's raining outside or whatever, there's like a haze in the shop. It's just so it's freaking unhealthy in there. We better figure something out. So yeah, so you start your times after you start your cure times after your cut.
Yeah, so it's after the part gets the temperature, I start the timer, and it's worked out pretty well.
So let me ask you, because
Oh, one of the things I learned very early on: do not touch the part as soon as it comes out of the oven, because the powder coat is still gummy.
yeah.
I've ruined a couple pieces.
Yeah, and people have said that like as soon as it's done curing, it's done. It's just hotness and that's bullshit.
No, yeah,
Like
it's got to cool down.
Yes, because you can hit it. We can hit it with our glove or whatever, and it will leave a little mark here.
Yeah,
So
I have done that.
I mean, you got room. So you're gonna eventually start doing when you get a bigger oven. You're gonna do rims outside, or are you gonna just keep with motorcycle, or are you gonna? Are you gonna try to start powder coating as a business?
Yes, maybe.
I'm sure it'll kind of segue into whatever it ends up being. If the money's there, and
And I just
it's
asked
there.
that because we dropped off a set of rims yesterday to a gentleman in Concord. We had somebody last week or the week before from another place in New Hampshire, I can't remember. We're getting them from down here now. I was asking one of them, I'm like, why are you coming up to, and why are you coming up to Inland? He was like, well, we have a place like 10 minutes down the road, but he goes, we watch your videos and we see that you do all the steps. And I was like, 10 minutes down the road, you're spending driving 2 hours to come up to us. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a freaking honor. Like, they're driving that far, going by other powder coating shops to come up, but they see that how we work and how we go right down to nothing and all that stuff.
You know, when I do a search for powder coating shops in this area, there's probably 4 or 5 that are advertised. Only one that does commercial stuff, and I think they'll do some of the smaller motorcycle parts and stuff like that as part of a larger project. But you know, my goal here is for us to have, the goal is to have a quick turnaround. Does it work that way all the time? Of course not, but it's what the goal is to get some parts in, turn it around, you know, give them back to the customer 3 days later. Because we also do motorcycle service here, you know, we had a guy come in that with a 2021, I think it was, Road Glide, and he wanted his lowers, his fork lowers powder coated black. While we had a part, we also did his suspension upgrade. So we not only are we doing the labor on the bike, but we're also able to powder coat it, put it all back together for him. So for him, it's painless. He doesn't have to wait.
He doesn't have to go to 2 or 3 people and have something like he's getting it all done all at once.
Right, one stop and done.
Because you're always going to have that slight orange peel. You are. If you look close enough, you're going to have it. But if you're like looking at it and really noticing it, you're just too thick. And I guarantee if you check your mails, you're going to just be like, that's why. Because you should look at the part and not see it, and then like really look, oh, okay, I can kind of see it. That's how it should be. And that's when you know you're right there.
Yeah, so it's right on the edge here.
Yeah, like you shouldn't notice it. You should, when you pull it out, you should not notice it until you try to notice it.
Fair enough. That makes so much sense. I have to tell you, I thank you so much for stopping by. I know you had to go to Boston, you know, and stopping in Auburn, New Hampshire is sort of kind of on the way.
It's a roundabout.
Back to Vermont. But I really, really appreciate this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't think I had any more immediate questions. The big things we got out of this was to do bolts are probably better off using Cerakote because it's thinner.
I would.
So that means that we need to see if the gold Cerakote will do what we expect.
Yeah, and then the main thing with the Cerakote
and the black too.
And the thing is with the Cerakote or the powder, it's just Cerakote. If you can use Cerakote for more things than not, I'd go Cerakote. You're just limited in color because Cerakote is going to be more on that paint finish than you're going to get with the powder. I mean, even if it's a fender, like if you find that color that you just like or whatever, Cerakote the fender instead of powder.
Wow.
One thing I didn't realize was that it'll react similarly to paint, that you can wet sand it, polish it, and do all that. That'll make a big difference with stuff like that. And then this, like, we just had the color wrong. If that's, because we were trying to get that thicker finish.
Yeah, then you're going to have to go a different color.
If it's that thick, it's the wrong color.
Yep.
We just need, you know, because if it's that thin and that's what it's supposed to look like, the reason it's so thick is because you were spraying and spraying.
And then some of that orange peel with that, unfortunately, some of that orange peel might be in your previous coat. It might not be in that top coat. So if you polish that, you may not get that out because the issue may be in your silver.
Yeah, I think the aluminum looked pretty good.
Okay.
On the, if I remember, but you know I was having so many problems with the transparent coat. It was so painful. I mean, I think that's the 4th or 5th time that I coated them after stripping them down.
Transparents are the hardest thing to do. Transparent candies. I like illusions. Personally, anything illusion I love to do. Just because you put your color down, which is silver, and then it don't react until you put your clear coat down, and it always seems to come out even. So if you can kind of find something, a candy color, an illusion, you might want to go towards that illusion, just because it'll be an easier process for you.
The one cover is really, really light. I mean, it's very thin aluminum, and the other piece, as you can feel, is a lot heavier. And so, I don't know if,
You're going to get different colors there too.
you know,
Different metals are going to give you different thicknesses. It's going to be different. Like if you get a swatch from Prismatic and you're like, okay, this matches my truck, and then you put that on steel rims, it's not going to be the same, because that swatch is whatever they're using for the metal, and then you're going to put it on a darker steel, which is going to react differently than aluminum. Like you can have the same color on aluminum and steel, and there is going to be a difference. Same color and everything, but there is going to be different because it's two different substrates. So just kind of.
yeah, that's.
But that's where you try to do the same bases and then the same top coat, because the base, if you do an alien silver or a chrome powder on either of those may not vary so much because they're chromes or they're silvers, and then your top coats will react to those, so your top coats will be closer.
That is,
If that makes sense.
that's probably one of the secrets that haven't been discussed anywhere. And that's a good point, you know. Who would have thought that, you know, a piece of aluminum and a piece of steel would have two different colors from the same gun, from the same batch of powder, but it makes sense that the base, I mean, it's logical.
Yeah, especially if you're dealing with top coats, that's the main thing. If you're using bases, color bases, you're not having to worry so much because your color is your color. Your transparent top coats, your color is the color below your top. So if you're going against nice shiny chrome on yellow, say a yellow over a nice shiny chrome, and that yellow over alien silver, you know, they're close, but they're not gonna be the same because your two bases are different than your two top coats. Your top coats are the same. Your bases are different. You need that same base on both to get the exact same colors. I had this lady call me and ask me if I could powder coat her car.
Her entire car.
Yeah, and I was like, what do you mean, powder you coat your car? Like the car's on? Like, she's like, no, like powder coat, like everything on my car. And I was like, is it stripped down? And she's like, no, can't you just drive it into something? And I was like, so a lot of the thing when you start powder coating, education is really, and really, that's why kind of why we started the videos, kind of as like education, because I had so many people, what is powder coating? And that's why we link our powder coating YouTube channel to everything, and we're a small area. You guys down here have it a little more up our way. There's one other powder coater, and he's like you said, kind of commercial. And it's just the little stuff that I do and the one-offs that I do that are a pain in the ass, they won't even touch them because they just want to get shit through. It's all numbers. And with us, we have pride in everything, and we'll do the stupidest little thing, or we just don't care. Oh, if that's different and it's not black, let's do it. So
It's not black.
with black, if I could get rid of black, I would.
As you're dressed in all black.
Well, I convince people, like even the gentleman, I'm sure you're going to be watching this, I just dropped off the rims. I think it was him that wanted gloss black. And it's like, if it's a brand new part, gloss black, you're fine. If you get anything else that's not brand new, where it's going to have imperfections, that gloss black it's just like paint. It's going to show everything. So anybody that wants gloss black, I always try to get them, do a chrome black. Even a chrome black hides a little bit. Do something with metallic. There's rims that we just put out today. I think the video we just put out today. The rims look so bad when you see it, and then by the time we're done, you can't tell. I mean, they're Toyota rims that were just beat to death and rusty, and we did it in a Kingsport gray, and it has metallic in it, and it hides everything.
Because the reflections.
Yeah, and it's a gray, it's not a black. Blacks bring things out. As soon as you put metallics, and you'll get to that. You'll be like, you'll see something and you'll see that garbage, and somebody's gonna go, I want gloss black, and you're gonna be like, I wouldn't suggest it. I will do it, I'll do whatever, but I want to personally tell you, and I'm going to put it in the invoice, that I suggest you not getting that because it will show imperfections and it will not look good in my opinion. But I will do it, and that's what I do.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So what are you going to be hanging your rims with?
I have,
The eye bolts.
yeah, probably with eye bolts.
We got some off. We just started using them in the past 2 videos. I think I used them. We got them from Etsy. They're like little hooks with a little eye bolt on them, and I like them.
They're a lot easier to
They're
use
a lot easier to use.
because they work with you instead of.
Yeah, and they have no screws. They have no nuts. Like the eye bolt. Okay, if I put an eye bolt on, I screw the end on. Okay, to clean that, I gotta put it in acid. Okay, now my steel is rusting. The bolts are a struggle to get off. I gotta wipe them down. I gotta put the bolt, try to screw the bolts back on where it's already like oxidized and all that garbage. And these parts that he sells, it's just like, it's like a little C with a little loop on it. You put them in, and there's no screws, there's no threads. I like them. I like them. I've used them a couple times, and I think they're on the 2 videos I just put out. I think I have them on there, so you'd be able to see them on there. But they're not that bad at price, and I think the pack is like $50 a pack.
Again, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you for your videos. Thank you for your education.
So
Thank you for your time. I can't say enough good things.
No, and that's the thing, like, everybody does things differently. Like, I try to preach on my videos because you get people always saying, like, well, I saw this person do this and this person do that. You'll find your nook, you'll do it your way, and you'll take a whole bunch of different people's ways and put it together and what suits you. And the way I look at it is, as long as that end quality is good, who gives a fuck how you did it? You know what I mean? As long as it's done right. And that's why I try to preach on our videos, is it doesn't matter what somebody else does, it doesn't make them right or me wrong or vice versa. Just pick what works for you and make sure the quality is good. Just don't half-ass it.
Yeah, the 2 powder coating channels I make sure to watch are yours and Right Now.
I like Right Now.
Yeah.
I'll watch that.
I mean, he's very methodical about the way he does things, but I admire that,
I pull a lot of stuff off his too.
which is really, really good. And then 703 are watching his too, because he's funny. He's like, the first videos I saw of him, I was like, what's this guy doing this in a chicken coop? But he's doing it, which is nice. And he does some good presentations and comparisons of different types of powder and the results of that.
There's a lot of good ones coming out. I think when we came out, there was like 4 that we used to commonly Armor King, Unknown. Unknown, 710, and Right Now. I think are the ones I really watched. Just because I like to see what other people do, and I'll be like, oh, I didn't think of that. I'm going to try that and see if that works. And I'm sure they do the exact same thing. I guarantee every single one of them watch all the other videos that are out there, and they'll pull what worked for them, whether they've been doing the same thing for years or not. It's just natural.
Yeah, Unknown Coatings I like a lot also. I forgot about him.
He has a lot of good content on 3-piece rims. So.
It's all good.
Okay, buddy, we'll get back to the dogs, and yeah, that was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you.
Absolutely. See you later, Chris.
Thank you very much.